Hey everybody, it's Demi Ingersoll, special advocate, parent at the Garden Grove Unified School District. I wanted to go online tonight because I have seen a lot of responses from parents or posts regarding the shutdown of schools and cancellation of IEPs and so forth, fear of school districts not doing what they're supposed to do to educate our children with special needs. So just wanted to talk about this because we are in completely uncharted, unprecedented situation here. So as we know, the coronavirus has really impacted the entire world. And here in California, we've pretty much shut down all the schools. I don't know if there's any schools that are still open. And right away, IEPs have been canceled. I heard of one IEP where a parent showed up and her IEP was canceled, or at least that's what she was told, only to find that she was staring at the entire team meeting without her. So I don't know. That does not look good. They might have just decided to meet and talk about how they're going to deal with the coronavirus, but it just does not look good when you see all your PT, OT, all your therapists, everybody, all your IPT members having a meeting, and you're not in there, so you have no clue what's going on. So something like that, it's just definitely doesn't look right, and so there's a lot of concern, if for good reason, a lot to be concerned about. So I wanted to talk about first. I want to make sure that everybody understands that I'm not an attorney. I'm speaking to you as a parent, as a dadvocate, someone who has a civil rights background, somebody who's been fighting for a long time for equity and civil rights and justice for people, someone that has some experience with IEPs and so forth. But I'm not an attorney. Since I'm not an attorney, I will not go too deep into laws or anything, but speak from a perspective, my perspective, in terms of basic understanding of educational equity, IDA, Section 504, basic understanding as an advocate, dadvocate, a parent. So, the district shuts down, right? As it has happened. Postpones educational services for our children. They're postponing educational services for children in Gen Ed, students in Gen Ed, and they're postponing services for our children with special needs, all at the same time, and then to resume education at a later date for both children in the Gen Ed and children with special needs, children who have an IEP, Section 504. If everything's done equitable, right, in that manner, my understanding is that they wouldn't require to provide support, educational support for our children with special needs during that time, except, so I've done some reading and so forth. I haven't seen anybody talk about this, and so my understanding is could be a little different. And again, this is completely uncharted waters that we're in. So if your child is, let's say, for example, learning an emerging skill like reading or, something that's they're about to grasp, and it's a very important part of their IEP, that might be something where you can ask the school district for support for you to work on at home. Anything that your child might qualify for ESY under, if there's going to be a reasonable amount of time where schools are closed, you might be able to or should ask for support in these areas. If they fail to give that support under the same eligibility for ESY, then after this or during this, I would consult with an attorney. Because again, this is just an idea I have. I haven't seen anything written on this, but it's something that I've just thought of. So Now, if a district gives educational assistance to gen ed students, um, it's my understanding that they have to make that same reasonable attempt at educating, supporting our children with special needs. Um, Now, there's a lot of difficulties with that, right? So, um, it's one of the things why I'm saying reasonable, right? So, why do I say reasonable? So, there's a few factors here. So, general education students, a lot of them are going to have um, be able to do much more self-directed learning, as well as obtain learning from online and other sources that are easily provided and abundant online for students to learn. Our children with special needs, though, unfortunately, they're going to require, many of them are going to require much, much more support than children who are in gen ed. And so um, this is where um, completely new, I think, in IDA Section 504, Children with Special Needs. Us parents are going to have to take up a lot of the responsibility to teach our children at home. Okay. However, there is a lot that special education teachers can do at home. I mean, not at home. Well, actually, they could be teaching from home or from school, but be conducting classes where then us parents at home could be assisting our children in learning from what the teacher is doing. So that can happen. And what I'm afraid of is some of these school districts are just going to blanket across, oh, no, we can't teach children with special needs while they are home, while they're continuing to teach children who are in gen ed. So they really need to put on that creativity hat and figure out how to do that. So I really think our teachers can provide instruction online. Us parents can be that bridge and provide that instructional support for our children while they're learning. So, but there are other areas where it can be done, like PT and OT, right? We might be able to get consultation from PT, OT therapists, so that's another way of being creative. And I'm sorry, I've worked with so many parents now, and I have to say our parents rock. I mean, you guys are just amazing bunch of human beings, the way you're working with your children. And in many ways, I've seen you guys do awesome things that therapists can't even think of. And I know I've seen it. So if we can get consultation for OT, PT, then there's a lot of things we can do at home. Maybe we can be given borrowed some equipment, something. There's got to be something we can do. We could do some of those things. Some of the speech, again, might be able to be doing online and consultation and so forth. Now, in terms of PT, OT, and services, I know there's like two different groups of people. People are saying, oh no, we need to have them come to our home. And I kind of thought this in the beginning. I've given this a lot of thought. And you know what? I'm sorry. I don't want somebody that's going from home to home to home to home and then finally coming here and bringing me a whole bunch of germs. And some of those germs, could very well be the coronavirus. So I might get some slack for this, but I am not for that. I am not going to push for that as an advocate. I'm going to push for keeping people not, in our house. I mean, right now we're still okay with it, but at some point when we start seeing a lot more cases, I don't want anybody coming into my house. So, that's my view. I could be wrong, but that's definitely my view. So, under Section 504 IEP, during a school shutdown, right? Is it, it sounds like it's unfair for us guardians to guardians and parents to do a lot of this work, but are we going to just sit around and complain because, oh, look at the gen ed kids, they're online and they're getting their learning, no one's coming over to teach our children, right? And it is unfair. It's not fair. I mean, it's already unfair that we have a child with special needs that requires all that support instead of being able to thrive in a much easier way. Where they don't require all these services and all the ADA accommodations and so forth. We all wish our children didn't have to need all these. So in terms of being unfair, I mean, things have already been unfair from the start, and they're going to be unfair now. And so all we can do is we can push for services and supports for children with special needs. And I think, or I would say first, we need to work collaboratively with our school districts. We need to let them know what we expect. We need to let them know that we expect support. We expect to be able to teach our children with special needs. But we got to say so politely, and we got to, this is a time where we all have to come together. I know I'm one of those hardballers sometimes when I talk about school districts, but at this time, we really all have to come together. We have to give everybody some benefit of the doubt, and we got to be a team. This is a major, major life-changing event that we all have to get through, and we have to at least try to work through together on this. If things don't start happening, then we raise our voice, but we have to first try and work together as a team. I think that's a must. So there's gonna be a lot of stuff already for children with that are in gen ed, right? So we might just have to alter it. So for example, with my daughter Samantha, right? So I just find stuff that's made maybe for younger children that are for gen ed, right? And then I just tailor the lesson to where she's at, right? So that's one of the ways that we might be able to do it. So, you might have a child who's 12, but you're working with some of the gen ed lessons online for someone who's in first grade or something like that. And then you alter it, right? But I think hopefully our SPED teachers are going to be able to create packets and show us how to do some of the instruction, walk us through some of these things, and we're all going to become, basically teachers at home, like doing homeschooling, basically. And I think we can do it. I know it's going to be tough. I know a lot of us need to work. So who knows how some of our families. I'm lucky I work at night, so I can do this. My wife also has days off. So we're really blessed to have this situation that we can accommodate our girl, but I really know that some of our families are going to have a really tough time with this. My heart goes out to you guys, and whatever you need to let the school district know. So what can we do? This is what I'm recommending. Okay, you have to, one, let the district know that your child has to be educated like everybody else. And you got to let them know in a nice, cordial, polite manner, because they haven't done anything wrong yet, right? So we can't assume that they are. Well, we can assume some of it. And I'm going to backtrack a little bit here. Unfortunately, our school districts have been they've trained themselves to say no. Years and years, our school districts are saying no a lot of times when they should be saying yes. They've had this mentality of no with children with special needs, especially when it's things that are not easy for them. When it's easy, they always say yes. It's easier for them to say yes than it is to say no when it's easy. When things are hard, it's easy for them to say no, because a lot of times the parents won't even fight it when they say no, right? So That is the unfortunate thing, is that school districts for years now have trained themselves to say no when it comes to our children. And they're not going to say no when it comes to gen ed, because they're not trained to say no to gen ed. They're trained to say yes to gen ed, right? So we do have that to worry about. But let's make sure they know we're not going away. Make sure they know that we are expecting for them to support our children. Write polite emails, write or make phone calls to the directors, the superintendents, whatever. Leave a message with their secretary. Leave a message, a polite message. There, especially Linda, she's an amazing lady that works with our superintendent at Garden Grove. But whatever superintendent office, I know this is for multiple school districts, not just GGUSD, Garden Grove. Be polite. These people right now are overworked. They're working weekends. They're working through the weekend. Okay, so I mean, the directors and all these people, they're not getting any time off at all. So we got to be a little patient. Show up to the board meetings, take all your precautions, take your mask, your gloves, whatever you are. Whatever you need to do, show up to the board meetings and make sure that they know you're there, they know you're watching, and that you're expecting that we are going to receive the support we need for our children with special needs. So, hopefully they end up doing the right thing. Now, at some point, we'll find out, because everything's documented. What the school districts do in the gen ed for the gen ed students is going to be documented. What the school districts do for our students with special needs, it's going to be documented. So while we might not know what they're doing with another child, we know what they're doing with ours, right? And we can find out what they're doing with the gen ed population for sure. So it's not like we can't find out if what happened was not equitable. Okay, so if it's not equitable, we'll have to deal with it at some point, and we'll have to file for compensatory education. So this is a tough time we are all a part of. I wish all of you guys the best. I have a lot of faith that we can do this. I mean, us special education parents, we have been facing tough challenges for a long, long time. And I know that from what I've seen of working with you guys one-on-one at IEPs and so forth, I mean, you guys are resilient. You guys are just amazing, amazing parents. And you know how to work with your children. I've seen you guys. You guys are seriously amazing. And although we're in a very tough time, I know you guys can do this. I know you guys can do it. Is it fair? No, it's not. But I think the number one thing is we have to keep our children safe. And we don't need these therapists coming into our home. And you can do this. You guys can do this. It's not going to be easy, but you guys can do this. So I wish you guys the best. If I missed something, please comment below, what I've missed. If you have any suggestions, if you want me to talk about any other areas for a future video, please comment below. You feel free to follow me on Facebook if we're not friends or whatever, because I do make my videos public. And also, I will be uploading on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, please click like and subscribe. Follow me, support our cause, because we all have to stick together and fight for our children's rights, because, as you know, special needs lives matter too. So I love you guys. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of each other, and I'll be seeing you down the line.